crave stability, a solid ground beneath our feet, the primal right to simply know, Naga. But what if your stability depends on someone else's, a leader's time-stable mind? What if their wavering trust, their hidden fear, becomes your silent burden? This is the unseen cost of being the rock for a leader consumed by doubt. The quiet erosion of your own certainty, your right to have time's answers. A leader's doubt isn't just hesitation. It's a contagious, slow-acting poison. It seeps into every decision, every command, every whispered strategy. You see it in their eyes, a flicker of terror, a moment of profound uncertainty. Their voice might crack, their resolve might falter, their confidence shattering. And you, the trusted one, are there to witness the unraveling, up close. You are not just supporting, you are absorbing the shockwaves of their fear. Each question, each second guess, drills a tiny hole into your own convictions. You become a living echo chamber for their anxiety, amplifying its destructive hum. Your internal compass, once true north, begins to subtly, dangerously spin. The world outside demands certainty. You offer it while your leader crumbles. You cannot show your fear. Your purpose is to be impenetrable, a human shield. Every personal doubt must be crushed, suffocated, before it reaches the surface. The mask you wear is heavier than steel, forged in the fires of their instability. Your gut screams warnings, but your mouth speaks only reassurance, unwavering faith. This isn't strength, it's an emotional amputation, severing your own truth. You start to question everything you believed, every instinct you once trusted. Was your conviction misplaced? Was their doubt, in fact, the true foresight? The leader's paranoia becomes your own, a parasitic thought feeding on your peace. Your self-worth becomes tethered to their fragile perception of your infallibility. What remains of you when your identity is just an extension of their fear? You desperately need clarity, a firm direction, a single, undeniable truth. But you cannot demand it. To question their doubt is to amplify its power. So you stand, silent, internalizing the chaos, starved of the answers you crave. Each unanswered question festers, a slow-burning acid on your mental landscape. The right to know is a luxury you forfeited the moment you chose this burden. Sleep becomes a battleground, haunted by scenarios of failure and potential collapse. Your jaw clenches, shoulders tighten, a constant knot of tension resides in your gut. The exhaustion isn't just physical. It's a soul-deep weariness from constant vigilance. Every decision feels like a gamble, with your stability as the ultimate stake. The quiet moments are the worst, when the weight of it all threatens to crush you. Nobody sees the internal war you fight, the demons you wrestle on their behalf. The public sees a resolute team. They don't see the fractured core you prop up. Your invisible labor, the emotional scaffolding, goes unnoticed, unthanked, unvalued. You are the unspoken architect of their confidence, the silent pillar of their reign. And if it all falls apart, you will shoulder the blame despite carrying their doubt. What if their doubt pushes them to make a terrible, irreversible mistake? You watch it unfold, powerless to intervene, without shattering their fragile ego. The consequences crash down, and you stand in the wreckage, complicit in silence. The guilt becomes a concrete block, pinning you down, suffocating your spirit. You sacrifice your judgment, your truth, for their flawed and terrified vision. You betray your own instincts, your own moral compass, to maintain their illusion. Every time you echo their uncertainty, you lose a piece of your authentic self. The person you once were, driven by conviction, slowly fades into a shadow. You become a hollow shell, filled only with the echoes of their indecision. This isn't loyalty, it's self-erasure, a slow, agonizing descent into nothingness. There are brief moments of clarity, glimpses of the leader they could be. A fleeting surge of hope that perhaps, finally, the burden will lift, the doubt dissolve. But it's a mirage. The doubt always returns, a relentless, creeping tide. Each cycle of hope and despair deepens the scars, reinforces the cage you're in. You are trapped in a purgatory of potential, never fully realized, always undermined. What if your suppressed instinct was correct? What if their doubt was pure folly? The bitter taste of vindication, knowing you were right, yet powerless to act. The victory is theirs, the failure is theirs, but the cost is undeniably yours. You pay with your peace of mind, your integrity, your very sense of self-trust. "I told you so," becomes a silent scream, echoing only in your tortured mind. You cannot share this burden. It is yours alone, a solitary, crushing weight. To confide is to betray, to reveal the cracks in the foundation you tirelessly maintain. The isolation is profound, a prison built from unspoken truths and guarded fears. You watch others navigate certainty, envying their freedom from this invisible leash. The ultimate loneliness is bearing a secret that fundamentally reshapes your world. There comes a moment when the illusion begins to shatter, even for you. A single, profound crack appears in your impenetrable facade, a silent scream. The weight becomes unbearable, threatening to collapse your entire being. You stare into the abyss of your own brokenness, and it stares back, unforgiving. This isn't a role. It's a slow, premeditated execution of your spirit. Why do you stay? For loyalty? For duty? Or is it something far darker? Is it the fear of what happens if you let go? If the entire edifice crumbles? Or is it the terrifying realization that this burden has become your very identity? You are defined not by who you are, but by what determines what you carry for someone else. The question of self becomes a void, swallowed by the demands of the leader's doubt. What remains when the leader is gone, when their reign concludes, for better or worse? The scars remain, etched deep into your psyche, a permanent record of their fear. You might be free, but the chains of their doubt still rattle in your soul. You survived, yes, but at what terrible, irreversible price to your own being? The true cost of leadership's doubt is the complete, silent demolition of your own soul. We see the powerful, the decision-makers etched into history's grand canvas. We celebrate their triumphs, dissect their failures, judge their legacy. But what of the silent architects, the invisible anchors, whose strength is never their own? The ones who catch the falling pieces, who absorb the blows meant for another. Their sacrifice isn't a single grand gesture, but a million tiny concessions. Each piece of their spirit chipped away, for the fragile ego of a hesitant leader. They learn to speak in borrowed truths, to see through another's uncertain eyes. Their wisdom becomes a well for others, while their own thirst goes unquenched. To be the constant in a world of variables, a fortress built on shifting sands. This is the silent pact, the unspoken agreement, made in shadows. A loyalty so profound, it eclipses self, obliterates identity, demands all. They become a living mirror, reflecting only what their leader needs to see. Their true face, their deepest convictions, buried beneath layers of duty. A soul forged in the crucible of someone else's fear, forever marked. The strength required is monumental, the toll immeasurable, the thanks rare. They become accustomed to the tremor, the constant hum of impending disaster. Their vigilance is a wound that never truly heals, always on edge, always prepared. They watch as opportunities for their own growth, their own joy, simply pass by. The erosion is subtle, insidious, until one day they can no longer recognize themselves. The silence becomes a companion, a heavy cloak woven from unsaid words. Each flicker of the leader's doubt sends a jolt through their very core. They bear the weight not just of decisions, but of the fear behind them. A constant battle against the psychological entropy of a wavering command. They become connoisseurs of unspoken anxiety, experts in emotional damage control. Every day is a performance, a flawless portrayal of unshakable conviction. The applause is never for them, only for the stability they provide. Their story remains untold, their struggles unacknowledged, their pain unseen. They are the nameless heroes, the unsung martyrs of someone else's epic. A life spent anchoring a ship destined for turbulent waters, guided by an uncertain hand. The price, the slow, agonizing surrender of self, piece by brutal piece. Their spirit, once vibrant, now a ghost echoing another's indecision. They learn to breathe in the suffocating atmosphere of perpetual uncertainty. Their resilience is not a choice, but a desperate act of self-preservation. The burden is their crown, heavy and unseen, worn with stoic, silent pride. They stand firm, a testament to endurance, a ghost in plain sight, a loyalty carved into their bones, costing them everything they were. They built a world around another's weakness, at the expense of their own strength. And in the quiet moments, they wonder, was it worth it? The answer never comes. Their life, a testament to devotion, a tombstone for their true self. To be the rock, the anchor, the silent strength, for a leader's wavering heart. It is to live a borrowed life, a reflection, a shadow, forever tethered